What if I told you there's one thing men do that drives women absolutely insane, and it's not what you think? It's not leaving the toilet seat up, forgetting anniversaries, or even refusing to ask for directions. It's something so simple, so basic, that most guys don't even realize they're doing it. And when they finally understand what it is, everything about their relationships suddenly makes sense. Picture this scenario. Welcome, please hit the subscribe button.
A woman commet son after a terrible day at work.
Her boss criticized her project, her coworker took credit for her idea, and she spilled coffee on her favorite shirt. She walks through the door, clearly upset, and starts telling her partner about everything that went wrong. His response? He immediately jumps into solution mode, offering practical advice about how to handle her boss, suggesting she document her ideas better, and recommending a stain remover for her shirt. Sounds helpful, right? Wrong. This is where the disconnect happens, and it's driving her crazy for reasons that have nothing to do with the solutions themselves. The simple truth that frustrates women isn't that men try to fix things. It's that men completely miss the point of why women share their problems in the first place. When a woman tells you about her bad day, she's not necessarily asking for a repair manual for her life. She's asking for something much more fundamental, something that costs nothing to give but seems impossible for many men to understand.
She wants to be heard. She wants to feel understood.
She wants emotional validation that her feelings make sense and that someone cares enough to sit with her in that difficult moment. But here's where it gets really interesting. Men interpret problem sharing as a request for problem solving because that's exactly what it would mean if they were sharing. When guys tell each other about challenges, they're typically looking for practical solutions or strategies. It's a completely logical approach that works perfectly in male friendships and professional environments. Women, however, often process emotions differently. Sharing problems serves multiple purposes beyond just finding solutions. It builds emotional intimacy, processes feelings, seeks empathy, and strengthens relationships through vulnerability. When men immediately shift into fix-it mode, they're essentially saying, "Let me skip past your emotional experience and jump straight to making this go away." This creates a frustrating cycle. The woman feels unheard and emotionally dismissed. The man feels confused and unappreciated because his helpful suggestions are met with resistance or irritation. He thinks he's being supportive by offering solutions. She experiences it as him not caring enough to actually listen to her feelings. The crazy-making part is how simple the solution actually is, yet how difficult it seems for many people to implement. Before offering any advice or solutions, simply acknowledge what she's feeling. Say something like, "That sounds really frustrating," or "I can understand why you'd feel upset about that," or "What a terrible day you've had." This isn't about agreeing with everything or avoiding all problem solving forever. It's about emotional timing. Most women are perfectly capable of finding solutions to their problems. What they're looking for first is emotional connection and validation. Once they feel heard and understood, they're much more open to practical suggestions, and they might even ask for advice directly. The simple truth that drives women crazy is that many men rush past the emotional connection straight to the practical solution, missing the most important part of the interaction entirely. It's like someone asking you to dance and you responding by analyzing their footwork instead of taking their hand. Here's what makes this even more maddening from a woman's perspective. When she tries to explain this dynamic, it often gets dismissed as women being overly emotional or complicated. But there's nothing complicated about wanting to feel heard and understood before moving to solutions. It's actually a very reasonable human need that benefits everyone involved. Men who learn to listen first and fix second discover something amazing. Their relationships become stronger, their partners feel more connected to them, and when they do offer solutions, those suggestions are received much more positively. The woman feels supported and valued, and the man feels appreciated for both his emotional presence and his practical input. The irony is that by slowing down the problem-solving process, men often become much more effective at actually helping. When someone feels truly heard, they're more relaxed, more open to suggestions, and more likely to implement advice because it comes from a place of understanding rather than dismissal. This isn't about men changing who they are or suppressing their natural inclination to help solve problems. It's about adding an emotional awareness step before jumping into solution mode. Think of it as relationship troubleshooting. You don't start replacing parts until you've properly diagnosed what's actually wrong. The simple truth is this: most relationship problems aren't actually asking to be solved immediately. They're asking to be acknowledged, understood, and validated first. Once that happens, solutions become collaborative conversations rather than one-sided lectures. So next time someone shares a problem with you, try this approach. Listen first, validate their feelings, ask if they want advice before giving it, and watch how dramatically this simple change transforms your relationships.